Hi guys, Jenny here and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how to make s'mores cupcakes. I've been meaning to do this for a long time but I don't have a blowtorch. But as soon as I bought mine, I started working on these cupcakes. So if you want to see how I made these cupcakes, just stick around and I'll show you how it's done. Now let's start baking. The first thing we're gonna work on will be the buttery biscuit base. It's not s'mores without grahams, of course. So in a small bowl, just combine your crushed grahams and melted butter. Stir them around until the mixture looks like wet sand. And then take your cupcake tin lined with paper liners and distribute the graham mixture about 1 tablespoon per cupcake. This recipe makes about 14 to 16 cupcakes, by the way. Now press the crumbs tightly to make a crust. You can do this using a tablespoon but I'm using a glass today. It has a pretty small bottom so it fits nicely in each hole. Once they're all ready, we are going to bake these for about 5 minutes in a 350 degrees Fahrenheit preheated oven. While the crusts are baking, let's start with the cupcake batter. In a big bowl, we will combine all the dry ingredients and that's going to be the flour, cocoa powder, sugar, baking soda, and a little bit of salt. Stir them together until they're all well combined. Now I will set this bowl aside and take a new one for the wet ingredients. For the wet ingredients, just combine the buttermilk, vanilla extract, egg, and oil. Give them a quick whisk and then add in your coffee and just continue whisking. Don't worry, your cupcakes will not taste coffee, I promise, but we want it there because it intensifies the chocolate flavor of these cupcakes. Now just combine your wet ingredients and your dry ingredients. Whisk them together until there's no visible lumps in your batter. Your buttery biscuit base should be out of the oven by now. Just fill the cupcake holes with the cupcake batter we just did, about 3/4 full. And then they have to go back in the oven to bake for about 23 to 25 minutes, still at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. While the cupcakes are baking, we can now start with the ganache. In a heat-safe bowl, just combine equal amounts of heavy cream and chocolate. We need to melt them together in the microwave at 1 minute increment. You want to stir in between just to make sure it doesn't overheat. At first, it would seem like they're not coming together, but just trust the process. Once the chocolate has melted completely, it would look very thin and runny. This is not what we want for our cupcake, so we need to pop this in the fridge for about 30 to 45 minutes just to make it a little bit firm. Like this. Now we are ready to make the marshmallow frosting. The first thing we're gonna do is to separate 3 egg whites. You want to be very careful at this stage because if you accidentally tear the yolk and it went with the white, you can't use that anymore. Any form of fat or grease will prevent your egg whites from whipping. So the bowl, the whisk, and all the utensils that you will use has to be grease-free. Your egg whites, add your sugar, cream of tartar, and a little bit of vanilla extract. And then just give it a quick whisk as a head start. And now we head over to the stove. Here, I have a small pot with simmering water. Just put your heat-safe bowl on top. Make sure the bottom doesn't touch the water. And then just continue whisking the eggs for about 4 to 5 minutes until the mixture is slightly warm and all the sugar has melted. You can tell this is ready by putting your finger in there, rub them together to check, and if there's no more grain, you know it's ready. Now we take it off the heat and just continue whisking. I'm switching to a handheld electric mixer because this will take a while, about 15 minutes. I normally set a timer just so I know how long I've been whisking. You'll know the frosting is ready when it turns glossy and stiff peaks form. Now all that's left to do is to assemble the cupcake. First, slather about a teaspoon of your ganache on top of the cupcake. You can also pipe it, but I think using a spoon is easier. Actually, using a spatula would have been easier, but I didn't want to add that to the pile of dishes waiting, so a spoon would do. Now just pipe your marshmallow frosting on top. I'm using a plain large round tip to do that. And the part I'm most excited about, the blowtorch. Just be very careful, make sure there's nothing flammable around you or anything that will accidentally catch fire. And then just repeat this process to all of your cupcakes. And that's it, guys! That's my s'mores cupcakes. I hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!